Today I think we're in for another interesting story with Stan again because Radio Today is a radio station I've heard of, and I suppose a lot of you follow, but it was an old SABC radio station that has taken a few turns and things. Hey Stan?
No, it wasn't SABC, it was an independent station that was started by Bob Courtney and Peter Lotus.
Well, okay, today we're going to go and find out exactly how the station is continuing to operate.
That would be great. At the moment, Errol Ballantyne is broadcasting, so we'll be able to see him.
Great, let's go and talk to Errol then.
This is Mike. Mike manages, and he's the program manager and the manager of Radio Today.
Oh, Mike, how's it?
Good morning. Nice to
I said, I'm Brendan. How are you, Mike?
Hello, Mike.
Come on, I think we're on our way into the station.
We have to be quick because I think Errol is only online for another 15 minutes.
All right, let's go then.
Good morning, Carol.
Morning.
Hello,
Hi.
Carol.
This is Mrs. Carol Ballantyne and Brendan and Stanley.
I know Stanley, yes.
Hello,
Brendan,
Carol.
you say.
Yes.
I've got a son called Brendan.
Yeah, there used to be a few of us. Now there's a lot of us, eh? Okay.
Is he busy?
Yes.
Can we go through?
Yes, if you're quiet.
And here we have Mr. Errol Ballantyne and his beautiful cat. Hello, weekends.
Interesting.
Morning, boss.
How are you?
What a lovely way to see you in nice in shorts this morning.
Hello, Errol.
Hey, welcome.
Thanks very much.
It's fascinating. I mean, I can't believe I'm at a radio station right now. This is kind of weird.
You're at a desk with a speaker and a keyboard.
Yeah.
Well,
Sir?
it's far more than a desk and a screen and a keyboard because it's Errol Ballantyne behind the screen and the keyboard.
That's Gloria again, or I am what I am. Radio Today, it is 13 minutes to 10 o'clock. I'm Errol, I'm with you until 10 o'clock this morning.
And I'll give you the cook's tour.
Yes.
Started by Richard, by Peter Lotus and Bob Courtney.
They were a bit reticent at first. Sorry, is that the right word? Reticent.
Reticent, yeah.
At first. And Rosalie Lotus, Peter Lotus's wife, she persuaded them to go ahead. So it's thanks to her that Radio Today exists today.
Wow.
And Rosalie is still with us today and a great friend of Stan's. And she takes a lot of interest in the station and she spends a lot of time. Whenever we have a get-together, Rosalie makes sure, we make sure Rosalie's there. In 1996, they began Radio Today as a community station. And it operated as a specifically to serve the post-50-year-old folk of South Africa.
Okay.
It was demanded to be 100% English, and it ran on. And it had its ups and it had its downs, and it pretty much ran out of steam somewhere around about, 2016, 2019?
The radio, when it started out, was seen as a kind of revived Springbok radio because Peter Lotus was Springbok radio, and there was the guy who used to do the helicopter traffic. I forget his name now. Paul Beresford. They were all Springbok radio, so it was seen as the new Springbok, but it wasn't really. It's just people regarded it as. And there was quite a big listenership. Problem was it was on medium wave. And you were affected by the weather and that kind of thing.
A community station is required to change its board every 5 years. And so one can expect all kinds of funny things to happen when those kind of things happen. Nonetheless, we took it over in 2021, and it was in a pretty bad state at that stage. In terms of our coverage, in terms of our radio coverage, had diminished because the transmitter was just so poor that it was only reaching about 8 kilometers around Marks Park at that time, and that was really just a joke. And with the advent of digital and internet, one realized at that stage that the way to go was to go with using the internet as the vehicle.
Okay.
And so we're very lucky to have the internet as well as a DSTV feed. And what we've done is, as a team, we've pretty much targeted to be presenting towards the more senior folk of South Africa, the post 65s. And then we find that, in fact, it's not only just the post 65s, we find we're sort of being pressured to really supply product for people in the 75 to 95 group. And it's really tough, but we do it, and we do it as best we can. So sometimes when we play something out of the 20s, it annoys the 65-year-olds. And when we play something out of the 60s, it annoys the 95-year-olds. But there's nothing we can do about that. We just try and spread it as broad and as wide as we can. And we do everything we can to make it as comfortable as we can. There's all kinds of digital methods now. There's DSTV, there are digital radios, there's people can listen on their cell phones anywhere in the world. The more modern cars now, some of the really modern cars, already you can key in an internet link, which would be rt1485.com. RT Romeo Tango 1485.com.
And that's applied to my cell phone as well. Like a Google.
Yes. And so you Bluetooth from your phone to the car, and then you listen in the car. We watch the numbers as they come in the day, and we see that folk join in and follow from Germany, United States, Canada, all over the world. What is staggering, though, is that our DSTV feed is phenomenal. And we think that it's about 10 times what our internet feed is. And the reason that is because the senior citizens prefer to use DSTV.
Yeah, I can just play the TV in the background. And there's that lovely radio station.
And so we find that they're not particularly that keen to go and use data or use a device like a cell phone or walk around with earbuds in their ears. But the main concept is that we reach out and we provide companionship for the seniors. That's what we do. All our shows are designed in that direction. We have book reads, we have book reviews, we have motoring, we have all kinds of stuff. And we run a show.
Music.
Yeah, lots of music.
And it's interesting that the genre is not definitive to a particular age group. What I'm saying is that you'll have a 70-year-old wanting to hear Led Zeppelin. Now, yeah, you know, Led Zeppelin.
Bizarre, hey?
Yeah, I mean, it's you'd expect them to want to hear Bing Crosby or one of those.
Yeah.
But I get requests amongst the, and the requests often surprise me. You want to hear Black Sabbath and you're 80?
Stan, you've got a show on radio today. I mean, what's your show all about?
Well, my show is called Anything Goes, and the reason why it's called Anything Goes is because it comprises of the spoken word, music, historical facts, anything except the modern type of music. So the music I play is from the 1920s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. But it's a mix. You never know what's going to come up next, and classical music as well.
We have a wonderful partnership and assistance from a company in Cape Town called News Scoops. And this team puts together the most amazing stuff, really good short stuff. It's excellent. We've got everything there from financial reports, sport, motoring, the whole lot. It all comes through. We can use what we like, what we don't use. But what's phenomenal is that News Scoops refuses to charge us for their service. And for that, we are, well, let's not say they refuse to charge us. They kindly, because of our altruistic nature of being a station serving people where we earn no money, they're happy to let us use their product absolutely free.
I like to keep up to date with modern events or things that are happening that are of interest, like a news item that is not covered in the news bulletin, but it's, oh, did you hear that? So and so and so, just as a 30-second insert, just to keep people up to date. They might not have heard it, might have come out yesterday. And so I bring that up as a point of departure.
We just always assume it's in one place. You know what I'm saying? It's all broadcast and everything. The guys come there.
Big dish.
Yeah, big dish. Oh, yeah. Why is it so different now?
He's the technical man. He'll tell you.
Well, here's the trick. You see, starting off right at the outset, the broadcasting from a studio creates all kinds of problems, and especially when the folk get more senior, it means they've got to get into a car somewhere and drive somewhere to get there. And then you're limited by what you can do. You have all kinds of changeover problems. You need to move one person out of the studio and another one in. And it just becomes horrendous, and it's extremely expensive and absolutely valueless to anybody today. So where we have the amazing situation in the world, there are estimated somewhere close to 300,000 radio stations in the world today that broadcast through the internet. And so there's amazing software, really high quality software for the presenter themselves to run off a computer right at home, a laptop right at home. And then that all passes through our servers, which we hire time on, which have got the whole station ensconced in that server as radio today. All our schedules, all our presenters, all our shows, everything lives there. And that is broadcast from Czechoslovakia throughout the world. Errol's show here from home has just gone from home to Czechoslovakia. It's been picked up there, converted, and put out to the world on the internet in what is called an icecast method. And it's brilliant. It's very, very simple, very easy to operate. And it means that we have Glenda Slade and Bruce Monroe down in Durban. We have Matt and Jeff and Michelle and Brian Hutton down in Cape Town. We have teams up here in Johannesburg. Nobody needs to do anything. You do your show. When your show's finished, that server is going to say, thank you very much, bye. Yes, and the next person takes over. And it's gone. Now, Errol has just finished it. It's 10 a.m. in the morning. And for 30 minutes, there's a book read. And we've come to realize that it's become very popular. A lot of folk are in frail care centres, bedridden, are unable to move. And yes, they do use all kinds of material to try and keep them occupied, but they listen to these book reads consistently. You can see the numbers climb as the people, you actually see the musical lovers and Errol's aficionados leaving, and then you see the book lovers coming to listen. And we see that all the time. We see this fluctuation all day. But then at 10:30, from 10:30 to 12, we have a show which we call Living Our Best Years. And Living Our Best Years is all about providing that content you've just spoken about for senior citizens. We have Matt and Michelle down in Cape Town who find articles and items and interviews of interest to people who are post 65 years of age. And all on our website is full, chock-a-block full of news items and interesting stories and interviews and podcasts of some of the shows. So it's just, one could actually visit rt1485.com and not leave it all day. Could be kept company all day in one place. So everything that we've done is designed around being the companion on air.
And that's it from me for this morning. Thank you for being with me. Always good to have your company. I'm Errol Valentine, and geniet die dag verder. Enjoy the afternoon. It looks like it's good weather today.